Hello, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Hello, hello, hello. I just got a microphone yesterday, so tell me if I sound weird. Welcome to another episode of IDC Trivia. If you haven't registered for this week yet, you can let us know that you are playing by using the registration form in the description below the video. Great. I'm glad it sounds good. Can you hear the piano music lightly in the background as well? I don't have that properly piped in. Maybe I'll work on that for next time. Just kidding. That's me. I'm playing. Not really. I did play piano when I was a child. I was okay, but I wasn't great and I hated practicing. But I'm very klutzy, so having my hands do two separate things at once got especially difficult once I started getting more into French horn, which was my other instrument, which I started later than piano. But when you play a brass instrument, you only have to use one hand. Oh, welcome back, Alina. Thanks for joining us. Anyway, we don't have a piano anymore, but my husband is desperate for our daughter to learn piano or music in general as soon as possible because he is completely tone deaf and he wants to try to I guess give her the best start as possible and hope that she takes after me genetically in that regard. Not that I was a virtuoso, but I did, was a music major in college at first until I wasn't. Yes, FSO. The plan is to get a piano when we move into our new house next year, if we're not broke from building a house. If we are broke from building a house, maybe a keyboard. But my mom bought her piano used when I was 4 or 5. She did not have a lot of extra money at the time, and found it from like a friend of a friend for a great deal, and has now spent almost double just moving it compared to what she paid to buy it. I was thinking about piano music today because I was listening to my friend Joss's new podcast. Since she plugged my photography in her podcast, I feel like I should plug her podcast. It's called Let's Get Down to Business. And in their first episode, they did kind of getting to know you episode, and I found out that she played piano as well, and I didn't know that because not a lot of people I know my age have pianos in their homes. I hope everyone is enjoying fall. Well, except for our Southern Hemisphere friends. I hope you're enjoying spring. I am excited for flannel season. And I have already consumed several gallons of apple cider. And I've started baking because I love baking pumpkin spice things because I'm basic. So I made, actually it was apple muffins last week. The week before was pumpkin muffins. And I also made chocolate chip cookies from scratch for the first time ever. I've gotten into cooking, but I haven't really ever been much of a baker, mostly because my favorite dessert is ice cream, and I'd rather just buy it. But I also really love chocolate chip cookies, and I've never believed in myself that I could make an excellent chocolate chip cookie, and I did. So it's pretty exciting. All right. It is 8:05. Let's get started. The theme this week is the Grand Prix series here at iStance.com Trivia. This is in honor of the Grand Prix series actually possibly maybe starting this weekend. At least athletes have flown to Las Vegas, and hopefully the whole bubble plan won't blow up before things even get started, although it's 2020, so I'm not counting on anything until someone actually skates on Friday. Disappointing, of course, that 2 of the 6 events for this year have already been canceled, and it's really disappointing that some athletes will get to showcase what they've been working on and some won't have opportunities. So but I am thankful to be able to watch something this weekend, hopefully. Anyway, we're going to reminisce about Grand Prix Series past. If you are new, this is how it works. Teams are great if you'd like to play in a team. If you don't have teammates this week, feel free to rope in some friends to play with us next time. If you're playing on a team, we ask that you keep it to a maximum of 6 people. You will use the Google form, the forms are in the video description below, to submit answers at the end of each round. If you're playing on a team, only one person needs to submit the answers. We're back to 3 rounds this time. Last time we had an abbreviated 2-round competition, but we're back to 3 rounds plus a final question. As usual, it will be general trivia, music trivia, and picture ID, all around the theme. No points lost for wrong answers until the final question, so feel free to guess. And last names are fine when you're identifying a team. Spelling doesn't count, but just as long as it's close enough that we know who you're talking about. And most importantly, don't cheat. Don't use the internet to look up answers. It's not IDC Google challenge. So, round 1, trivia questions. 6 questions, 6 points each, as usual. At least one of these. I think 2, maybe just 1. I can't remember what I've done. One has multiple answers and will be broken up into partial credit, as usual. I'll give you about 90 seconds between each question, and then an additional few minutes at the end of the round. So if you want to go back to a question, make sure you take a screenshot or jot down some notes, because there will be additional time at the end of the round. So round 1, question 1. Which team has the most Grand Prix final titles with 5 consecutive wins? Which team has the most Grand Prix final titles with 5 consecutive wins? Timer works. Okay, question 2. What was the first country that hosted the Grand Prix final without first hosting a regular Grand Prix event? They have hosted the final twice now, both times in the same city. What was the first country that hosted the Grand Prix final without first hosting a regular Grand Prix event? They have hosted the final twice now, both times in the same city. Name the country, not the city. Question number 3. Out of the 6 current Grand Prix host countries, which ones have never had a team win Cup of China? Question 3. Out of the 6 current Grand Prix host countries, which ones have never had a team win Cup of China? Question 4. Which team holds the record for the most career Grand Prix medals with a total of 24? Question 4. Which team holds the record for the most career Grand Prix medals with a total of 24? This total includes medals from the final. Question number 5. Of the teams with 10 or more career Grand Prix medals, only one of those teams has no gold medals from the Grand Prix. Name this team. Of the teams with 10 or more career Grand Prix medals, only one of those teams has no gold medals from the Grand Prix. Name this team. And finally, question 6, name the year. Our usual question type to round out round 1. I'll give you 4 facts that all occurred within the same calendar year, and you name the year. 2 Grand Prix finals occurred in the same calendar year for the last time so far. Dubreuil-Lauzon finished last at both of those finals for the 3rd and 4th time in a row. Delbel and Schoenfelder won 3 Grand Prix bronze medals and qualified for their first final. And Caroline Green was born. Question 6, name the year. 2 Grand Prix finals occurred in the same calendar year for the last time so far. Dubreuil-Lauzon finished last at both of those finals for the 3rd and 4th time in a row. Delbel and Schoenfelder won 3 Grand Prix bronze medals and qualified for their first final. And Caroline Green was born. All right. It is time to end round 1. You can submit your answers whenever you're ready. I'll give you about 3 more minutes to continue pondering or conferring with your teammates. that another minute. Oh, Linda, welcome. Feel free to join us for the rest of the time. I apologize. I don't think I really posted any reminders this afternoon. Had kind of a weird afternoon with the kiddo. Anyway, time is about up. I think everyone who registered has submitted, so let's move on to the answers. Question number 1, round 1. Which team has the most Grand Prix final titles with 5 consecutive wins? And that would be Merrill Davis and Charlie White. Question number 2. What was the first country that hosted the Grand Prix final without first hosting a regular Grand Prix event? They have hosted the final twice now, both times in the same city. Okay, so I didn't think this question would be that hard, but I don't think anyone got it, and I think everyone put Spain. Which, now that I think about it, it's definitely a logical answer, especially because they hosted twice in a row. But the first non-typical Grand Prix final host was Italy. Torino hosted last year and in 2007, December 2007. And I guess that was fresh in my mind because they just hosted last year and it was my first trip there. So I apologize for putting that as question 2. Usually I save the tougher ones for later in the round. So question 3, out of the 6 current Grand Prix, why can't I say Grand Prix today? Out of the 6 current Grand Prix host countries, which ones have never had a team win Cup of China? And the obvious ones were China and Japan, but also Canada has never had a team win Cup of China. Fun fact. Or not a fun fact if you're Canada. Question number 4. Which team holds the record for the most career Grand Prix medals with a total of 24? This total includes medals from the final. This one was a little trickier, but you have to go back to the era when most of the top teams were usually competing at 3 Grand Prix events per season, and plus the final would be 4. So it's Marina Anasina and Gwendal Pesera who actually have the record with a total of 24 career Grand Prix medals. And question number 5. Of the teams with 10 or more career Grand Prix medals, only one of those teams has no gold medals from the Grand Prix. Name this team. This was definitely a deep cut, but as I was studying Grand Prix records this weekend, I thought this was super interesting. Galit Chait and Sergei Saknovsky medaled often, but never won a Grand Prix. And question number 6. I've got like a whole symphony behind me all of a sudden. Name the year 2 Grand Prix finals occurred in the same calendar year for the last time so far. Dubray and Lausanne finished last at both of those finals for the 3rd and 4th time in a row. Delobel and Schoenfelder won 3 Grand Prix bronze medals and qualified for their first final. And Caroline Green was born. All of those things happened in 2003. Next year, I'm skeptical, but we may get 2 Grand Prix finals in the same year again if the currently postponed Grand Prix final for this season actually happens. And if next season actually happens. Oh, I'm super sorry if my wording was weird. I wrote a lot of these questions with a child on my lap, so apologize if I lacked clarity. Okay, round 2. Music identification. 6 questions, 6 points each, as usual, but I switched it up a bit this week. So still no audio clips because technical issues. There'll be 6 questions as usual. But this time, since it's a Grand Prix theme, the program music, year, and Grand Prix events attended will be given. And you just name the team. So a little more simple, and we'll see how you guys like this slight format change. So round 2, question 1. Free Dance to Survivor by Destiny's Child. Epic cover by Two Way. Is it Two Way? How do you say that? Two Way? I'm not cool enough. Competed at 2019 Skate America and Internationaux de France. Two Way. Daphne's cool enough. I'm not. All right, moving on to question 2. A short dance to Dream a Little Dream of Me, Muskrat Ramble, and Cheek to Cheek by Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald. Competed at 2013 Skate Canada and Trophée Eric Bompard. Question number 3. Free dance to Memorial Requiem by Michael Nyman competed at 1997 NHK Trophy and Trophée La Ligue. Question number 4. Free dance to The Landing, Turn Around, and Gravity of Love, all by Enigma. Competed at 2007 Cup of China and NHK Trophy. Question number 5. Original dance to, and I cannot pronounce this, Sacran Carnsile by Clannad, 1998 Skate Canada, and Sparkison Cup. I'm not sure why I use this program knowing that I would have to read that out loud. And finally, question 6. A Short Dance to Trouble by Elvis Presley, 2016 Skate America, and Ross Telecom Cup. And that'll do it for round 2. You can submit your answers using the round 2 Google form. Make sure you put your name or team name at the top. I'll give you about 3 more minutes. In about another minute. All right. If you haven't submitted, please submit your answers. But I think everyone has. So, moving right into the answers. Round 2, question 1. A Free Dance 2 Survivor by Destiny's Child, epic cover by Two Way, 2019 Skate America, and International de France. And that's Tiffany Zahorsky and Jonathan Guerrero of Russia. Super fun free dance last year. Definitely one of my highlights from Skate America. And it was the first time that I'd ever seen them compete live. Even though they've been around for a bit. More than a bit. But yeah, there's a couple of teams that, even though I go to quite a few events, have kind of slipped through the cracks, and I'm always excited when I finally get to see them. So, question number 2, Short Dance 2, Dream a Little Dream of Me, Muskrat Ramble, and Cheek to Cheek by Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald, 2013 Skate Canada and Trophée Eric Bompard. My favorite short dance ever. Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer. Question number 3, Free Dance 2 Memorial Requiem by Michael Nyman, 1997 NHK Trophy and Trophée La Ligue. In the interest of full disclosure, not one of my favorite programs ever. But that was Oksana Grishuk and Yevgeny Platov. Question number 4, Free Dance 2 The Landing, Turnaround, and Gravity of Love by Enigma. Competed at 2007 Cup of China and NHK Trophy. Program I do really like. And after I read the question, I was sitting there thinking about it, and I'm pretty sure we had this on like one of the early weeks of trivia. So I apologize for repeating. But it was Sinead Kerr and John Kerr. Question number 5, Original Dance to Sakran Carn Sial by Clonad. I don't speak Irish. 1998 Skate Canada and Sparks and Cup. That was the waltz from Shaylin Bourne and Victor Kratz. And question number 6, Short Dance to Trouble by Elvis Presley from 2016 Skate America and Ross Telecom Cup. Eliana Pogrebinski and Alex Benoit. Okay, time for a score update. In first place with 54 points, Allie. In second place with 50 points, Amanda. In third place with 46 points, Debbie S. Tied for fourth with 44 points, the ladies Caliph and Maybell. In, where are we? Fifth place with 42 points, Figure Skaters Online. Anita has 34 points, Linda has 30 points, and Catherine has 28 points. Oh, yeah, thanks for the feedback. Cool, maybe I will work something more like this into the questions for the future. Round 3, picture identification. As usual on this one, no changes. 6 photos, 6 points each. 6 photos with the faces blurred. I don't think there's anyone new. Season will be given. You name the team. And I promise no compulsories. right, so round 3, photo number 1 from the 2017-18 season. Actually, all of these photos are from the Grand Prix, so it is specifically fall 2017. There you go. Photo number 2 from the 2003-04 season. Photo number 3 from the 2011-12 season. Photo number 4 from the 2015-16 season. Photo number 5 from the 2007-08 season. And photo number 6 from the 2018-19 season. And here are all 6 photos. I'll give you about 3 minutes. You can submit your round 3 answer form whenever you're ready. about another minute for these. All right, if you haven't submitted yet, it is time to get those answers in. Okay. Round 3, photo number 1 from the 2017-18 season. Those were the original costumes for Madison Chuck and Evan Bates. I'm not sure about original, but definitely the ones they used in the Grand Prix. Photo number 2 from the 2003-04 season. That's what I like to call the Minnie Mouse dress from Marie-France Dubray and Patrice Lauzon. Photo number 3 from the 2011-12 season. The legendary tiger dress from Caitlin Weaver. And also Andrew Poget is there. Not in a tiger dress. Photo number 4 from the 2015-16 season. Pretty in pink, we have Kana Miramoto and Chris Reed. Photo number 5 from the 2007-08 season. One of my favorite wackadoo programs from Yana Koklova and Sergei Novitsky. And photo number 6 from the 2018-19 season. This one was definitely tough. It was Julia Turkila and Matthias Verslice. I may have guessed a little on the pronunciation of his name. All right, score update. It's actually out of 108? I forgot to change that slide from last week. So, we have some switcheroo lead changes. Exciting. In first place with 80 points, Amanda. In second place with 74 points, Maybelle. In third place with 70 points, Debbie S. Close behind in fourth place with 68 points, the ladies Caliph. Close behind in fifth place with 66 points, Figure Skaters Online. In sixth place with 60 points, Allie. In seventh place with 58 points, Anita. 52 points, Catherine. And 42 points, Linda Loves Twizzles. So everyone knows where they stand going into the final question. I feel like I need some like theme music in here. Maybe we'll work on that eventually. So just a reminder, for the final question, there will be multiple answers. You get 2 points for every correct answer, but we subtract 1 point for every wrong answer. So choose your answers carefully. Final question. Identify the teams that have medaled 18 or more times at Grand Prix events, including finals. Stand by, y'all. I think there might be a typo in the question. So, hi. I'm not entirely sure this is working. So, I have to wait for YouTube to catch up to see if I can look at my answers without you guys seeing it. Oh, there we go. Sorry for being huge. All right. Yep. I sure did have a typo. Now I'm editing it. And now we're going back to this. Bye. Awkward, sorry. Okay. Once again, final question. Identify the teams that have medaled 17 or more times at Grand Prix events, including finals. I will give you about 8 minutes for this and give you a few warnings along the way. Since all of you are regulars, you can safely assume that this is one of my usual final questions. So there's probably, 10-ish, give or take a few answers. That's what I generally aim for. So since this covers a lot of ground and a lot of years, you can keep that in mind. There's about 5 minutes left. Three minutes. And 1 minute warning. All right, it is time to submit your answers. Make sure everyone has time with the YouTube lag. It starts out at like a 5-second lag, and then by the end of trivia, it's like 15 seconds for me because, you know, shared building internet. Okay. So I'm going to call it kind of a crazy question. I will say that I spent like more than an hour, probably more than 2 hours, fact checking this. So hopefully I got it right. Not for lack of trying if I didn't, although there was that typo in the question. I apologize. So identify the teams that have medaled 17 or more times at Grand Prix events, including finals. As we learned in round 1, the record is 24. So quite a few teams came reasonably close to that record. And actually, I can't remember if any of these teams are still competing or not. So I don't know if that record is in jeopardy. So Anacina and Pesera, 24. Virtue and Moyer had 21 medals. Peshala and Borza had 20 medals. I think they benefited from competing 3 times, a couple of times maybe. Maybe not. Just a long career. Davis and White had 19 medals. Belbin and Augusto had 18 medals. Bordenkratz also 18. Capellini and Lanotte also 18. Delabelle and Schoenfelder also 18. Weaver and Poge also 18. Denkova and Stavisky 17. And Lobacheva and Averbuk 17. Oh, one more, sorry. And the Shibutanis 17 medals. So, yeah. None of those competing anymore, I guess. So the record of 24 is safe for a bit. Okay. I will give Daphne a little more time to score that since it's complicated. If you're not American, we are exactly 2 weeks out from our election, so we will not be doing trivia on election night. Well, it does seem unlikely that we will actually know who won the election on election night. You know, I think Daphne and I will still be a ball of stress and nerves on election night regardless. So we're definitely going to skip that week. We'll probably be back the following week, which I guess is November 10th. Although I'll have to double check my schedule. Not that I really do anything, but and then after that we might only have one in November. We might do 2 in November, and then I'm not sure about December. It all depends if the U.S. qualifying competitions actually go ahead or not. If they do, I'll be at the one in Leesburg, Virginia, as I'm the vendor photographer, and Daphne may come down as well. So, yeah, so we actually do have some things coming up. But yeah, we'll probably be back on November 10th. And I think scores are ready. So definitely a tough week. And the last question was tough. Thanks for playing. It was super interesting for me to like go through and really look at teams' Grand Prix records and who competed against who and which teams tend to do better on the Grand Prix, which teams tend to like keep losing by like just this much. Some teams are not ready that early. So, yeah, super interesting, and hopefully we'll have some skating to watch this weekend. So, scores, where are we? In first place, winner of the gold medal with 88 points, Amanda. Tied for second place. Oh, we love a tie. Winners of the silver medal with 83 points, Maybell and Debbie S. In third place, winner of the bronze medal with 81 points, the ladies Caliph. In fourth place with 76 points, winner of the pewter medal, Figure Skaters Online. In fifth place, what did we decide the fifth place medal is? Chrome, maybe? Winner of the chrome medal with 72 points, Allie. 62 points, Anita. 60 points, Catherine. And 56 points, Linda. So thanks for joining us tonight. Sorry about the schedule change. Last week my mom was actually in town. First time I had seen her since March. So that was crazy, and I'm glad I got to see her and we had a safe visit. But yeah, I didn't want to tell her that she had to stay in her room and keep perfectly quiet and not use the internet while I hosted trivia, like I tell my husband every other week. He's fine. All right. Oh, congrats, Amanda, on your first win. I thought it may have been, but I couldn't remember for sure. So that's exciting. We love it when standings change, unlike 90s ice dance. All right. Yeah. So have a great week or a couple weeks. Everyone stay safe. Americans, please vote. Please make a plan and make a backup plan to vote in case your plan doesn't go as planned. It took us 2 months for our registrations to get processed, and it took 2 weeks for our ballots to travel half a mile to our apartment from the Board of Elections around the corner. But we got them yesterday, and we filled them in, and I'm going to drop them off tomorrow. So yes. And if you're not American, tell all the Americans you know to vote. Thank you. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Good night.